step for American innovation and consumer protection as we undertake the first ever legislative markup for digital assets legislation. The legislation we're considering today is more than a decade in the making. 15 years ago, the Bitcoin white paper was published under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. The paper envisioned a global financial network built on peer-to-peer permissionless transactions of digital assets using public, cryptographically protected distributed ledger technology. Since then, thousands of builders, innovators, and entrepreneurs have worked to make that vision of a more inclusive financial system a reality.
Wow, I think he's finally identified innovators in this new asset class. He said the hard work we put in is now coming to be a reality.
Terms like cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and the digital asset ecosystem are now part of the everyday lexicon for millions of Americans and people around the world.
Yes.
This is a software revolution and a financial revolution if done correctly.
Financial revolution is upon us if done correctly. I've been documenting my journey since 2017. But out of the 33 proposals that was, entered to the Fed, Ripple is like the only one with the technology and stuff. I mean, is like Ripple a shoe-in with the Fed, or what direction do you think they're going to go?
There were 33 great proposals, and all looking at tech and solutions for many different components and payments. So it was.
But Ripple's the only one with blockchain technology, right? Out of all the proposals?
I can't recall.
Oh, okay. Chris?
I think, just like the internet allows you to communicate in any language, I think the internet of value will allow you to trade value in anything of value as you define it.
I think part of the question you're asking is, does Bitcoin or virtual currencies pose a threat to the dollar as a currency? And I think it really does not. Prices are still denominated in dollars. When I go to a store...
Boom, that's ℕ𝕝𝕚, I believe. Unless anybody can verify that this is not ℕ𝕝𝕚, I believe that this is ℕ𝕝𝕚. We need to call Bob Way, former Ripple employee, had him on the show. This is ℕ𝕝𝕚. It's got to be. Because if you look at the lineup here, here's Karen Glifford, Ripple Board of Director. Of course, ℕ𝕝𝕚 would sit beside her. And then you got Chris Larson. And then Fred Ursulman from Coinbase. But it's really all Ripple and Coinbase.
Store online, and I want to pay with Bitcoin. The price is still in dollar. At the moment that I want to pay, the price is converted to Bitcoin so that I can pay a person perhaps overseas who doesn't take Visa or MasterCard because it's not available in their country. But ultimately, we're talking in dollars.
Cryptocurrency meetup that has ever existed in cryptocurrency meetups.
Wow, I'm looking forward to this. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I can tell you there's excitement flowing through the communities. I almost feel like I'm in that movie now. I don't know if you saw it. I think it's called The Hunger Games.
Yeah,
yeah. You got Community 1 and Community 2 and Community 3, and then they send out their best guys to have like a community meetup. Yeah, basically it's starting to remind me of that, where communities come together. But this is going to be amazing. It's going to be fun, that's for sure.
Well, none of us are going to die.
That's for
We're
sure.
just going to have a good time.
Being that you're basically, bringing knowledge mainly about Bitcoin and Litecoin, tell us a little bit about that moment right before you made that video where you said, oh God, today this video I'm going to be talking about XRP. Oh no.
And well, once I quit rocking myself and crying, I said, all right, I need to make a video on this because it was on my heart to be honest with people on what and if this was just like some Joe Schmo I talked to who kind of gave me his opinion, I would have never made any video on it, Okay. When you're talking with Joe Montana of the 49ers,
exactly.
And he's telling you what the plays of the next game are going to be for the 49ers. You listen. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I got the most bullish news, Gary Hill. You tuned in on the right night tonight. You need to call the whole family into the living room right now. Call them all in front of the television. And tell them BuLLZiLLa has some breaking news. Even Trump says this is huge. The Bank of England has released a paper named Ripple. Elizabeth, you see this? Exploring the settlement of payment using the what? The Interledger protocol? Huge. Oh, we got some real bullish stuff from Jack the Rippler. And we're going to dive deep down this Bank of England report right here from 𝕊𝕠𝕚𝕒, my Greek brother, my Greek connection. All the way from Greece, bringing the heat from Greece. We successfully integrated the Ripple solution with 2 simulated RTGS systems. FinTech Accelerator. We're here tonight to talk about the evolution.
More importantly, I think, is how liquidity, and today, as many in the fintech community know, banks pre-fund accounts. There's almost $10 trillion parked as pre-funded accounts around the world, such that banks can then debit and credit and make those cross-border flows work. We have a product that allows banks and allows financial institutions, payment providers, to not pre-fund, thus making that trillions of dollars more active. And we think by doing this, we really do accelerate the global engine of commerce.
Yeah, I'm excited to announce that, this morning, 9 a.m., we announced our newest product called Liquidity Hub. And in 2018, we started sourcing liquidity for moving cross-border payments from crypto exchanges. How many crypto developers do we really know out there that know how to securely source liquidity?
And how to use XRP as on-demand liquidity.
And while talking about all these different projects, you're an investor in Ripple and a slew of other companies. I was actually the second
person ever involved in Ripple. So Jed came to me in 2012 after we knew each other through Mt. Gox, and he said, I have an idea on how to make Bitcoin that doesn't require mining. I think mining is wasteful because it uses a lot of electricity. So if we can figure out how to do it without all the mining, that would be great. So I said, okay, that sounds great to me. So I paid David Schwartz his salary, who's still to this day the CTO of Ripple. I paid his salary for the first year or so of him working on Ripple. So technically, you could say I was the second person ever involved in Ripple. So,
wow.
Which is a fun piece of history there as well. So I've never, ever been a Bitcoin maximalist, if you want to touch on that thing. So I've always been a utilitarian maximalist. Whatever's the most useful to the most number of people in the world, that's what I'm going to support.
Yeah, that's the most natural segue.